be more stuff near my work. Because last time I was like, there's nothing there. But this time there might be.
There we go.
Alright.
Okay.
That.
I made my drink too strong.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
It's just whiskey, but I like, I do the ice, and then I usually do like whiskey up to the top of the ice, and then I put water and sugar in there. But I stupidly, like, I just wasn't thinking and did things out of order, so I did ice and then water, and I was like, crap. And then I just like poured a bunch of whiskey in there. I wasn't really sure how much because it was already full.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ratio is all off.
Alright.
Oh yeah, get the news out. I haven't done this like traditional show in a while.
Yeah, it feels weird.
I miss E3. I don't actually. It's exhausting.
It's been very odd. You're gonna keep it nice and chill in short.
Sharp?
Short?
Short. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I refuse to check how much I've spent on Steam. I saw that that's a thing now, and I don't want to know.
I'm gonna do that during the show because fun fact, I've already checked it, so I already know my number, and I thought it was gonna be way worse than what it was. But I'm gonna check it, and you can react to it.
Maybe I'll check it too then. How do you do it?
It's just actually I don't know if the link is in that article. It's got to be in the article, but I clicked through it on a different thing. This actually might be the fastest way for me to check it, is to go into this Discord and then give you the link.
Why is Tom Arnold trending?
Is he dead?
That's what I assumed, but no, he's gonna fight Donald Trump. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right.
It won't be
but
as
then I
much.
have to log. Can you do it through Steam? Like
this is Steam.
I know, but I have to log in to the website that way.
Oh, you mean the client? I don't know. That is Steam. I don't know about the client. I didn't bother. Don't enter your details right away, because it'll just give it to you.
Huh?
I'm gonna make a surprise for the show.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if I can just get to it through...
Oh, I don't know. You have some kind of aversion to web browsers?
I just don't want to log in again, but this seems like more work at this point.
What would it be under? It says account data. So is there like an account data thing? Settings.
I have to verify. I have to do the friggin' Steam Guard thing.
It's not that much work.
I hate Steam. It takes forever for them to send it to me, though.
Why?
I don't know. Ask Steam. Okay, it wasn't that long this time.
Account. It doesn't seem like there's a way to do it here.
That's dumb. All right, so as soon as I log in, is it going to take me to that page?
I believe that's how that works.
Okay, I clicked away.
You could log... Okay.
Like, I hit login and then clicked away while the page was loading.
Alright. Recording?
Yep.
All right. Lo was sending us his regards.
Is he?
I told him I was gonna miss him today, and he's like, "Aw, miss you too."
Someday he'll have to come on like voice only and use an accent or something, so that no one can prove it's him.
Or he has to come as like the official representation of 2K.
Yeah.
He's
I'm sure they'd
voice
appreciate
of
that.
2K. Yeah. All right. How does the opening of the show go? Let me see if I remember.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Charge Shot. Right?
Coming at you live with the latest video games that we've been playing.
On the ones and twos.
sending it through the airwaves, the internet, the digital airwaves,
the extra dimensional airwaves. That's not bad. It's hard to say, but that's not bad actually. Bringing you all the gaming knowledge from the extra dimensional airwaves.
Hello everyone. My name is Thomas, and this is the Char Shot Gamescast.
That works too.
I'm trying to get back into it, guys.
E3, man. E3.
Yep. I think we're just gonna cut what we said before and then just start the show there.
But I kind of like our riffing on what the intro should be.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Char Shot Gamescast. Each every week, friends gather around talking about the games they've been playing, the shit going on in their lives. This week, I have Justin. I remembered how to do the show.
Yay! You have only me.
Yeah,
we're just still friends.
Yeah.
There's two of us, that is plural.
Yeah, we discussed earlier that Lo is no longer with us. He's left
He died.
Our plane of existence. And now he's
Lo
in
is
his
dead.
own plane. Yeah.
Long live Lo.
Long live Lo. That's pretty good. Justin, what have you been up to this past week?
Oh, I am firmly in Dad of Boy territory.
Oh, no.
I got that over the weekend and didn't really get to play it until Sunday. But I pretty much I got home from Mother's Day 2 celebrations on Sunday. Others might know it as Father's Day, just so you understand what I'm talking about. And just went balls deep into Kratos and Son. The point is, that game was really good. I was actually kind of upset because I had D&D on Monday and Tuesday, and so I didn't get to play it again until Wednesday. And so, I haven't done anything else for the rest of this week except play Dad of Boy. But yeah, that game's real good. It feels just like classic God of War, but modernized. Instead of that kind of static camera, where you can kind of see the entire play field out in front of you, and you're just running around hack and slashing and platforming. It's behind the shoulder, but you're still doing that same stuff. I thought God of War 3 did a little bit too much with the cinematic camera, zooming out on the action, and you can barely even tell where Kratos is or anything. And I kind of fell off of that one pretty quickly because it just wasn't what I wanted out of God of War. And I was kind of worried when this one was first announced that it was going to be more of the same, very cinematic, not as much of the platforming puzzles and stuff, more just about the scale. But man, it feels so much more like 1 and 2 than 3 did. And it's just weird because they completely changed how the game functions. It's more of an open world. You've got the kind of the persistent ally with you, which a lot of people know how those tend to pan out in games that aren't The Last of Us. But it works. Somehow it all works. It's not a perfect game. There's some weird technical things it has the annoying invisible walls where there's only certain places you can hop off of a ledge, for example. And there's one goofy thing. You do these kind of power kills or power attacks, I should say. Like when the enemies get low, you kind of have like a context sensitive like R3 to do some kind of like crazy kill against them, like ripping them in half or whatever, kind of Doom style. And one of them is you just kind of like bum rush the guy and like start charging, like just like running with him like up against you, and like throw him down on the ground and like stomp on him. But I've done that like 4 or 5 times in different scenarios, and it has yet to look natural. Because like one time, like we were right up against an invisible wall ledge type thing, and so Kratos just kind of like ran forward in place, holding the guy, and then like kind of glitched out and slammed him down like where Kratos was standing. So it's kind of this weird like shuffle back and then crash. And then another time, he like ran the guy forward like across the whole map, like knocking other enemies out of the way awkwardly. They just kind of like shuffled off to the sides, and then he threw him down out of bounds. So the guy was just like stuck there, glitched on a rock. And like I couldn't attack him. I had to like do an axe throw to kill him the rest of the way.
Wow.
Because he couldn't come back into the playfield, and I had to kill all the enemies before. So it's like weird stuff like that. It's like, okay, this is still a God of War game. Like those games were always kind of glitchy with their combat. But you know, when it's so immersive and like so beautiful, you notice those little moments more. But man, I love it. Like it reminded me how much I used to love God of War. Because that's a series I've beaten all of them except for 3. I didn't care for 3, but I made it my goal to like 100% all of the other God of War games on the HD collection on PS3. And this is like one of my proudest gaming achievements was like beating all of those. So I'm back in it hard now. But aside from that, I have played a little bit more. I'm still doing the Pokemon Go thing. We'll talk about that more in news, but I don't know. Something about that game has just like grabbed me again. I think it's because I played at work, and so it's a good excuse to like take walks even when it's super gross and hot outside. It's like I probably would just sit at my desk and like take my breaks at my desk, but it's like, well, I'm low on Pokeballs, so I guess I'll go walk. And then I regret it when I get back, but it's like I did that. Like, you know, I got my steps in.
Yeah.
So it's a good excuse to exercise. But also, I over the weekend, like I said, I wasn't home, so I brought my Switch and my 3DS with me. Got some more Kirby in. That game's still excellent. And I jumped back into Mario and Rabbids, because I know you picked it up, and also one of my friends told me that he beat it recently, and I kind of had this moment of, psh, if he can beat it, I can beat it. So I jumped back in because he said that he had to go into easy mode a lot for some of the battles.
Yeah.
And like I had been avoiding easy mode because I thought it like affected your progression, but no, it really doesn't do anything, except like I guess maybe hurt your ego because you know that you beat it in easy mode, but it doesn't even like tell you like, you know, easy beat or anything. It's just it gives you like double the health, I think, and that's it. And then you beat it, and like the same parameters and everything happen. So it's basically just a toggle if you're having difficulties with a match to get through it. So sort of just turning it on. I'm like, I don't feel like dealing with this in normal mode, and just turn on easy and then go through it and move on. So I'm actually really enjoying it again, because I feel like easy mode is the way it should be played, because it just feels like you don't have enough health to get through a lot of the stuff, which is annoying. But I'm like halfway through Act 3 or the third world, whatever. Like the kind of ghost, like spooky world, and it's pretty cool. But not a lot to say. It's just I like that game again. I kind of forgot how much I liked it, actually. And I briefly jumped into the Octopath Traveler demo, but I don't have too much to report on that. My brother played for like 3 hours. He did the I can't remember the character, but he tried one of the newer characters and like saw how it kind of like whichever one you choose can intersect with other ones. So like even if you don't pick, like you don't have to play the game 8 times to get all of their stories, basically. You still create a party of like 3 or 4 people out of those other 8. So like you get to the town that they're from, and when you meet up with them, you can like see their intro. So you don't have to play as them to get that intro. It kind of reminds me of like Secret of Mana 2 or Seiken Densetsu 3 in Japan. I probably totally butchered that name, but where like there's 3 or 4 different characters and each one has their own intro, but then like after you beat that unique intro part, it's like the rest of the game is the same. This is kind of that same way, except there's 8 characters, and you can't get all of their stories because you can't have 8 party members, I don't think. Like I said, you can only play for 3 hours, so it's not enough to meet everyone. But I jumped in with the thief a little bit because I read that he's the only one that can open like the purple chests that you run into in some of the towns and stuff. And like the first demo I played, I kept finding those purple chests and I couldn't do anything about them, and it was making me mad. But he's literally the only one that can open those. Like, there's no other way to open them.
That's why I always pick as the thief, like,
right,
RPGs and stuff.
Yeah, so I feel like the game's kind of broken in a way, because, like, who would not pick the thief? Like, you'd be missing items. All the others have some useful abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're still just, like, they're variations of how you talk to people and initiate battles and things like that. He's literally, like, there's chests that are in the game that you can only open with him. Yeah. And some of it's like really broken, like super powerful equipment that I just happened to stumble across in the first world or first town. And also he can steal from people. So like in the first town, like where he's from, everyone trusts him, so you just have a 100% chance to steal from everyone.
That's awesome.
So I just going around talking to people and like, oh hey, how are you doing? And it's like yoink, and walk away. They don't even say anything. And they say later in the game, like the percentage goes down and you can get caught and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the beginning you can just steal from everyone, open all the chests. Like, it's kind of broken as the first character you pick.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I said earlier that's why I used to always pick thief in RPGs and stuff like that, because I don't want to not know what's in that chest. I need to know. It's like no CD thing. It's like I need it.
Yeah, that game is no really good. I don't know if I'll... that is really strong. I don't know if I'll pick it up day one, but it's definitely piqued my interest. It's a little slow. Like, it's very much like a classic RPG, and I used to love those, but I don't know. I don't have the time for like a slog of grinding and stuff anymore. And like my brother was fighting one of the bosses in the game, and he had to keep doing it over and over again. And he's like, it was like the second boss or whatever. He had 2 party members, and it was like at the very beginning of the game, and it kept giving him trouble. And I'm just like, ugh, this is one of those games the difficulty is going to ramp up unnecessarily. I can tell already. But I don't know. It's definitely interesting, and I'm glad it's coming like exclusively to the Switch, because I think that's going to become like the JRPG Central, kind of replace the Vita. And I'm excited to see more studios put out their, exclusive RPGs on the Switch that kind of take risks and stuff like that. So I want to support it, but I've got enough other like really big games coming out this year. I probably won't pick it up day one.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it, actually.
All right. So yeah, during the week that was E3, there was a Days of Play sale from PlayStation.
Yeah, so I got God of War.
So I picked up PlayStation VR for $312 Canadian. It's $120 off. Came with the camera, the headset, obviously, and the Move controllers, and Skyrim VR. So I won't talk a lot about VR. Like, there's like a lot of stuff that I picked up that I just haven't really fully played yet. But I'll just tell you the most impressive stuff that I've seen, and then give you my impressions of the product itself overall. So the stuff that I tried out was Job Simulator and Super Hot VR. Those were the 2 games I really wanted to check out, because I've heard all this stuff about it, and it really the interactivity of those games is what's really cool. Like this especially Job Simulator. Like Super Hot VR is cool in the sense that you feel like you're Neo in the Matrix, just dodging bullets. But it's a workout, man. Like after like a session of that, I am sweating my ass off. Like, there's even a trophy in the game to like burn 1,000 calories or something like that. Like, I think VR games, like if they go into the workout, if there's like workout games, I think that would be a really good market to corner. Because you're playing a fun game while you're working. Like, it's kind of like the Kinect thing. Like, that also had that niche market of workout games. And my sister,
Yeah, I play Dance Central all the time on Kinect.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Super Hot VR isn't as good as the regular Super Hot though. Like,
Really?
yeah, I think like just the story in general is not as good. Because it's felt
I feel
like,
like it would feel better to play though.
well, I'll get into that with the actual PlayStation VR itself. Is that sometimes it would lose a lot of my motion tracking. So like, there's parts in the game where there's like I have my two hands in front of me, and also one hand just goes off into the distance for no reason. It's like it just loses tracking of the control, and I find it's like really hard to aim. Sometimes, like when it does that, when it loses the tracking, it's incredibly hard to aim. And what happened in Super Hot regular game, it starts you over back at that session that you're in, and this one it loops all the way back to the beginning of each like there's a set of levels, and you get through a couple levels, and if you lose, you go all the way back to the beginning instead of starting over at that level that you're on. So that's a bit of a bummer. It kind of like stopped me from playing it. Like after a while, I would just get way too frustrated. I'd be like, "Fuck this! I'm done."
If it was doing it because like you just failed, I think it'd be a good incentive just like get into the rhythm again. But yeah, if it's like a screw up on the technical end, that can get annoying.
Yeah. But like I just think the story's not as good. This one is basically you're just playing through levels. You get these discs, you put them in a machine, and then you put on your VR headset in the game, that's kind of neat. But I think they handled VR better in the actual Super Hot game and not Super Hot VR, which is kind of weird. There's a cool moment where you shoot yourself in the head, but you only do that once. And there's another cool moment where you put a floppy disk in your head instead of in the computer, because mind is software. Mind is software.
That sounds like creative, at least.
Yeah, it's neat. It
like acknowledges that you're in a game.
Yeah. I just think there's cooler stuff in the other game. Job Simulator. Job Simulator is a cool one that gets you. Like, I think it's the best one at doing the stand-up VR stuff, like filling around with other things and making things interact and making it feel like your hands in the game are actual hands. Like I don't need to click a button or anything to close doors and open things and interact. My hands are physical objects in the world that I can just slam stuff. There's one where you have to cook, so like it's kind of funny and creative that way too. You can just give people burned food and no one will pay any attention because they're just robots. You can throw stuff at people and they just get a little annoyed. I think Job Simulator is pretty fun. If you eat rotten food, you could barf on people, which is cool. My favorite thing in that game though is just like breaking the game itself. Like I don't really do that in normal games, but my dad does that all the time and it's hilarious. So like when I'm breaking games in VR, I just like stand outside zones they don't want me to stand in and put your head through things that they don't want you to do. Like in Drive Club VR, I stick my head out the window while I'm driving. So it's like such a weird like point of view that you don't see in games normally, which is pretty neat. But my favorite thing has been Res Infinite, and I never played Res before, but like it's such a different experience. It's really hard to explain. So it's like an on-rail shooter. It's like really abstract visuals. Like you're just going through the spaces trying to take out enemies, and everything is like the sound and the visuals are related to each other. And it's more of an experience than a game, I think. Like there is a game to it. Like you have to shoot things and there's boss battles. But man, the 3D headphones that they come with, at least mine came with, those are huge. Like it adds so much more to that game because it's all about audio and visual senses. And the actual Area X itself is it's not completely different, but you're off rails and you actually move a character around in a 3D space. And I kind of just want to keep playing Res. I kind of want to live in Res, because when I came out of Area X, I was like on the verge of tears, because it was just such a beautiful thing that I experienced, and I don't think I could ever like experience that again for the first time. And I just want another Res game. I just want to live in Res.
Video games are cool, man.
Yeah, video games are fucking cool. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say about for VR for now. I have some other stuff in the queue I want to check out.
Real quick, speaking of emotional responses, I actually forgot that, because it wasn't this past week, it was like before, but we didn't have a normal show. I did beat Ori and the Blind Forest, partially because Ben shamed me for not having beaten it already, but also because they had the trailer at E3 for the sequel, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably beat that. So like the next day, I went through and I didn't realize how close I was to the end of it. Oh, yeah. So I just knocked it out in like a day or two. And like I don't have the DLC, so I guess I technically haven't beaten all of it, but I did beat the official game. And man, that's a good game. Like, I'm really glad I beat that. I mean, I've actually been on a pretty good track record. I've beaten about a game a month. Some of which I started, a year or more ago and just finally actually beat, like Final Fantasy 12. But like it's tracked out to about a game a month, between like Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Final Fantasy 12, things like that I've mentioned already before. So I am well on my way to this whole beat more games thing. Although God of War might test my patience, because I am really easily distracted in that game. If I don't beat it with 100%, I probably won't beat it. But yeah, Ori is great, and I can't wait for the sequel. But continue.
Speaking of beating games, I've been streaming the first Doom game over on my Twitch channel.
Well, that's the first one? I assumed it was the new one.
No, I've been playing the first one. You know what? Twitch is weird. It doesn't have like an entry for the first Doom game. It's just like Doom 2016, and then like a bunch of other I don't want to say knockoff Dooms, but like a bunch of other like Doom projects. But yeah, I've been playing that, and I'm gonna finish it for the first time ever, because I never finished Doom. I always played that first level, like that first set of levels, and I was like, yeah, yep, that's it. I didn't even know there was like other levels in that game. But
yeah, you go to hell.
Yeah, I killed the Cyber Demon for the first time in my life. Or, well, I guess the first time in the first Doom. Yeah, that game is really good. Some of the levels are a little, like, mazy. They try to, like, screw with you a lot.
Is it actually good?
I don't like those ones.
No, I mean, like, is the game actually good?
Oh, is the original Doom still good?
Yeah.
I think so. I think some of the more mazy stuff I'm not really fond of, but there are some real kick-ass levels where like you're just there's like one level where I'm just put into, and there's like I think 5 or 6 cyber demons just coming straight at me. So I'm like circle strafing around, dodging around, just shooting fucking rocket launchers at them and destroying them. Like it still feels good to play, and that shotgun is
controls well, like with the old controls and everything.
Yeah, I'm playing the BFG version, which actually I think they do a lot more to it to make it actually able to run better on computers. But yeah, it still feels like a damn good game. That shotgun's probably one of the best shotguns in games, like still to this day. It's got a great reload sound to it and everything.
Because I played like a ROM of the old SNES version, and it's just like the controls ruin that game. Like there's no good way, like there's no like precise aiming or anything.
Yeah, that SNES version wasn't any good. Like it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like there's no precision aiming, but it's hit scan, right? Like I don't know if you could go back to hit scan games yourself, but I think it's still fairly precise. Like you can take out 3 or 4 imps at one time with a shotgun blast. Like it's real good. Yeah. After that, I'll probably do 2, and I'll probably upload that to the Charge Shot YouTube channel to the site.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go through. I don't know. Maybe I'll go through 3, but definitely 1 and 2.
1 and 2 were both like the same gen, and then 3 was like PS3 or something, wasn't it?
I want to say it was like original Xbox. Maybe?
Okay. Oh yeah, 4 was PS3. 360.
There wasn't a 4.
Yeah, there was.
No? Doom 4 was 2016.
There was. I thought.
We have to look this up. Maybe maybe Doom 3 was 360 era. Because I remember playing it on PC. I don't remember playing it on a console.
Yeah, it's just showing Doom 2016.
Hmm.
But yeah, I must be thinking of Doom 3, which would have been.
Yeah, I played that on PC at the time. So.
Oh geez, 2004.
2004, so that would be.
That's so much
PS2
older than I thought it was.
Era. Yeah.
There's got to be something between those two, though.
I don't think there was, man. Like, I think they did. I think they focused on Quake after that. Like, Doom wasn't a thing until 2016. Like,
because I remember there was like a surprisingly good-looking one that like came out.
Well, they had.
But I guess that's 3.
They had Doom 4, but it wasn't like they didn't actually put that out. Like, there was a bunch of like footage out there and stuff for it, but it wasn't a complete project. Like, I'm sure you could still pull up trailers for Doom 4. Anyways, there you go. That's your Doom corner.
Okay. Doom and Doom 2 were... oh, Doom 2 was PlayStation 1. And Xbox... No, yeah, PlayStation 1. Okay. So Doom was SNES, Sega. And then it also had a PlayStation port because it was like right around the change in consoles.
Yeah, there was Doom 64. Like, that was a thing as well.
Was that not one of the others?
I don't... You're testing my Doom knowledge.
It was a sequel to Final Doom, which was a PlayStation game.
Yeah, because...
That's weird.
Yeah. The only Doom game I played on consoles was the 32X version, which was...
Doom is a mess. There's 1, 2, Final Doom, Doom 64, 3... 3 different versions of 3, and then just Doom.
It was made for PCs and then ported everywhere, like, because it was like the hot game of that time. It was like the best first-person shooter of the time.
I know. I'm just saying it's not quite like Kingdom Hearts level of ridiculousness, but there's like 3 or 4 games that come in between 2 and 3, and then they just go back to we're just gonna call it Doom again.
Kingdom Hearts just puts like their critical story on handhelds and then their fuck off story on actual consoles.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be thinking of Doom 3 BFG edition.
Yeah.
Because that was out on PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2012.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it would have been like an up-resed version of Doom 3.
Yeah. And the thing about, like, I didn't even know I had Doom 3 BFG edition because I was looking for a way to play actual Doom. And if you buy Doom on Steam that's just regular Doom, it runs in a DOS box and there's no real... Like, there's ways around it that you can get it to run better. But I find... I don't want to jump through hoops, man. I just want to start up a game and play it. And Doom 3 BFG has both those games and Doom 3. It's so easy to launch it.
It is impressive how good this game looked back on the original Xbox, though. Because I genuinely didn't remember it being an Xbox game.
Yeah, like I said, I played it on PC, so like my time frame of my mind wasn't really there in the consoles.
Yeah, I just like vividly remember the announcement trailer for it.
Yeah,
I swore it was a newer game.
But... My memory of it makes me want to believe that it looked great for a PS2 era or Xbox era game.
It did.
So we'll see.
But I mean, New Doom looks great too. So
yeah,
it's just a good engine.
I dipped my toes back into Assassin's Creed Origin. For some reason, that game is like running better on my computer. For some reason, I'm running everything on medium though. Like
maybe I should try it again.
I started off as like very high, and then I just went down to very low, and I just kept inching my way towards like up, like until I couldn't handle it, and I was like, all right, this is a good spot.
I refuse to not play it on Ultra. Like, it can run on Ultra stable, but it still just crashes randomly. So I refuse to not play it on Ultra if it runs well.
It just looks so
it crashes
good on
no matter
Ultra.
what.
It just looks so good on Ultra. Like, you don't want to make that sacrifice.
It's true.
Yeah.
And if the only issue is that the game randomly crashes, it does that no matter what I have it set to. So why sacrifice quality?
Yeah.
It keeps annoying.
Yeah, that's all the games we've been
Pretty
playing.
much.
I did want to talk a little bit about our takeaways from E3. I don't know if you wanted to do that. Still.
Sure.
I just wrote up a list of games that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be the best thing for us.
I didn't write anything down, but I'll wing it.
Okay. Let's start with something that maybe both of us will be interested in. How
Spider-Man?
about... Alright, we'll start with Spider-Man. You talk about
No,
Spider-Man.
I just assumed that's what you were going to... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Spider-Man.
No, you go ahead.
I don't know where to start with now. I'll just make my segue to Doom Eternal. Like, there wasn't really much on there other than just, like, Hell on Earth. But it just got me excited for more Doom in the future.
Mm-hmm. And some better variety of environments, I think.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of Hell on Earth, like Doom 2, and they worked with a very limited set of rules back then. So, like, they tried to make it Hell on Earth, but it just looked like boxes of stuff. It wasn't real buildings. So, the fact that they can do Hell on Earth with better visuals now, like, that's gonna be insane. Speaking of not showing much, Cyberpunk 2077. Apparently they're targeting current platforms with that game, which...
Yeah.
It kind of just makes me think about GTA 5, like how they did current platforms and then next-gen platforms. So maybe that'll be the same thing. It just looked like a real cool world to live into. What I've heard that it's kind of like Deus Ex, and that's like a first-person RPG.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like, there actually was a lot more footage that came out after that trailer, just like from the show floor and stuff. There was full-on gameplay demos and stuff, and it looks great. I know some people are like, for some reason, upset that it's in first person because they thought it was going to be third from the trailers and stuff, but I think that's fine. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't get it. Internet backlash, I just don't understand it, man.
Right.
You have to be some kind of special in order to be like that.
People are dumb. They're going to complain no matter what.
Yeah. This was before E3, but Tetris Effect, I think that's a VR and a non-VR, so you can play it non-VR, but it looks like it's like from the guys that made Luminous, so I'm looking forward to playing that. Control looked really cool. That's that Remedy game. It has some psyops in that.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, looks pretty cool. I was surprised that it was at Sony stage and not Microsoft, because usually they've been in bed with Microsoft, and now they're just with it. I guess they're multi-platforming it, but
well, I think I said before that Microsoft seems like they know that they already lost this gen, so they're just focused on the future right now.
Yeah,
which is fine. They had a steady showing of like, here's all the studios we've acquired, but they didn't show any games from any of them. So clearly they're just kind of focused on like, this is all going to be ready for next gen. Just bear with us.
Yeah, that's kind of like just been the show. Is like, I feel like this next gen is coming sooner than we'll think it is. It just felt like it's a deep rumbling of it happening. Like you hear people talking about code names for the next Xbox, and there's going to be a 2020 release date for it, and like just low-key rumors of it happening.
Mm-hmm. Most likely.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That looked like a pretty cool like samurai game with the robot arm.
Mm.
I'm getting a lot of samurai games out of this E3. I think there was 3 of them. Speaking of samurai games, Ghost of Tsushima was pretty cool. Like there was a lot of really cool games that came out of E3, but there's not. I don't know like how many of them are hitting this year. Probably maybe half of them. Maybe
Very
not
few.
Even in yeah. Hitman 2. They showed off that that race car track where you hit the race car track level. Yeah, you say something.
A lot of my takeaways from E3 are just that not really much new was shown. So like I don't have a lot to like get hyped about because I mean like the Sony stuff was great. Like I loved seeing Spider-Man more. I loved there wasn't really anything from Spyro, but they had it playable on the show floor, so there's still some new information that came out. But like these are all known quantities, Like there's some memes going around that like Sony's conference has been the same now for like 4 years because they show Last of Us 2, Days Gone, Spider-Man, and Death Stranding. Those are the big 4 games that they've shown every year for 4 years now. And they're all finally kind of close to coming out. But it's still there's nothing new there. Nintendo had some surprising moments with like the new Mario Party, which I think is really good and I'm actually excited for because I saw some gameplay footage of it throughout the week with the Treehouse stuff. And there's like a good variety of maps. Like the traditional, you're just going across a path, but you're not in a car or anything maps, like the old style. And then also some of like from the 3DS where it's just like kind of an open map and you roll and like you have to do that amount of squares, but there's not like a set path you're going on. There's just like things on the map that you have to get to. And you have to kind of figure out your route to get to those things based on what you roll, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a car map or 2, but at least there's like a variety of things and it's kind of like a best of, while still bringing in some new features and stuff. Even Fire Emblem, like I don't care about Fire Emblem, but I thought that was a really good trailer for it. And we finally got like a vague release date for it. And Nintendo said like the reason we didn't show some of this other stuff is because we wanted to focus on things that are actually coming out in the next like fiscal quarter. So through spring of next year, or fiscal year, I guess, through spring of next year. Whereas a lot of other people are like, Microsoft specifically, we're like, here's some trailers for things that we're just now announcing. No release date or anything. Like the Halo Infinite, super excited. Looks like an open world Halo game. Well, no information on it.
Yeah, there's like no info on it at all. There's like that thing where they're going through that. Well, it looked like the first level, or not the first level, but the when you crashed, that area of the game. But that's about it. They didn't show anything else.
Right. Gears 5 looked great, although it's weird that it's a continuation of Gears 4 because I heard that one didn't do super well, like a direct continuation of Gears 4.
It did fine.
I don't care about that series, and they didn't really show that much on it.
They're making 3 Gears games. Like they announced
3.
Gears. Yeah, they're making Gears Pop, which is like the
mobile game.
Yeah, but that's not. I think Gears Pop is a mobile game. They didn't really show anything other than just the pop figures, and then I think they said coming to Android or whatever. But then they also have Gears Tactics, which is like.
I don't know about that one.
That's the one that we actually saw at the conference. They didn't show any gameplay footage of Gears Pop, but Gears Tactics is like an RTS version of Gears of War, kind of like what they did with I guess Halo Spartan or whatever.
Halo Wars.
Or Halo Wars or whatever.
I don't.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember seeing footage of was Gears 5.
Well, there's Gears Tactics as well, and now we're getting Gears 5, which I think it looks good. I like that they're going in the story with the girl. She actually has like an interesting story, being half. I can't remember what the hell their alien race is called, but like half alien, half human. So they're gonna go down that road with it, explore past, which is kind of cool. Yeah, Gears 4 did. I think Gears 4 did fine. They made a sequel to it and 3 fucking Gears games.
Yeah,
going hard on Gears.
And like really the only other thing like of the entire conference that was surprising. Well, I guess RE2 was surprising, but we knew that was coming. It was just surprising they actually had a trailer for it and that it's coming out in January. Like that was huge. But again, I don't care about that game. I'm just excited that, you know, the people that love it are getting it. The only thing that was really surprising, like in a good way for me, was that Sea of Solitude game from EA, because that looks like another really solid, like EA Originals type game.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah.
And like that was the one takeaway from EA. I was like, man, they still do make good original games sometimes. But aside from that, I mean, like even Nintendo, like their conference was 90% Smash. And again, Smash looks great, and I'm excited it's coming this year. But for one, we kind of expected it to come in September with the launch of the online service. They don't have a game launching with that service,
which they didn't talk about at all.
Yeah. So December is a bit of a rough release date for that.
Yeah.
And that's most of what they showed without even really showing anything more about the game. Because like they spent way too long on it in the direct. And then most of the Treehouse stuff was like an hour-long feed of them like using the same 4 characters, like 4 people playing, same 4 characters, multiple matches, and just talking over them. So we weren't even really learning anything about how the game works. It was just like, what are your best memories from Smash? While they just have matches playing. And so you didn't even get to see everyone, and I don't think all the characters were available in the demo anyway. But you didn't get to see everyone in action, and they didn't really talk that much about the game and how it's changed. So like it's still kind of an unknown quantity. I want to know more about like the things that are different.
They have 10,000 different changes though.
Yeah. The trailer showed Ganondorf actually using his sword in combat, which I know sounds crazy that he's never used his sword in combat before. But he's always just been a weirdly generic Falcon clone. And now it looks like they've actually made him like a viable, unique character. They didn't play as him at all. The entire Treehouse. There was a little bit with Link. They showed off like his new, like how his bombs work. How you have to like hit another button to detonate it again, just like in Breath of the Wild. But they didn't really show like his new grab or anything because he doesn't have the hook shot. They didn't show how Mario's changed, except for the fact that he still has Flood, which I think is weird. But it's like it's supposed to be the new Odyssey Mario, and like he has Cappy and everything. But they didn't show like what moves use Cappy or how that's even implemented.
Wait,
excuse me.
I just thought of something. Can you possess people as Mario?
I don't think so.
You have the Cappy.
I think really they should have like the simplest of Cappy inclusions, like maybe with his forward spin, like his little thing, like Cappy comes out around him and kind of like gives it a little more range,
like a little shield thing.
Yeah, that's like a small thing they could do to at least like use an existing move and add Cappy to it. I personally think they should have gotten rid of Flood and had his down B be like throwing Cappy out.
Sure.
And if you hold down B after you let him out, like the Cappy just spins there and you could like jump on the hat to get some distance. I think that'd be interesting. But instead we get Flood back for some reason on a Odyssey designed Mario, which is just weird. So yeah, there's a lot of things that like we just don't know about the game yet. And I get that it's like 6 months out still, but they spent a lot of their time on Smash for us to not know that much about it.
I mean, yeah, all right.
So really, like, I don't have any major takeaways of like new things.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man looks amazing. I could eat up all of the footage from that game and not be satisfied. But we've seen that game for 3 years now. I'm just ready for it to be out.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's a couple of trailers and stuff that came out that just like de-hyped me for some reason. Like Spider-Man just seemed like stuff that I've played before in that last demo, except now there's all their, except now all they have all the Sinister Six guys, I guess, except for 2.
Except for one. Well, Sinister Six has changed over the years.
Yes.
Like the team has changed, so it's kind of there's not really a set.
Let me rephrase that to just they had a bunch of Spider-Man villains then.
Yes, but it probably will be the Sinister Six.
Yeah,
because I think the last guy in the trailer that showed up was either Mysterio or Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like his face lit up, so like it could have been like the the hoverboard that Green Goblin's on, like creating a light on his face, or Mysterio's like glowing head globe.
Yes.
Creating light.
Like
so one of those is probably.
Yeah, so like the trailers have like kind of dehyped me. Like I'm just like, okay, I see the Batman combat, I see the swinging that they've done in other games, but like I just want that out and I want to play it. Another thing that dehyped me was Death Stranding. Like they spent a lot of time on like character stuff and story stuff that still doesn't really make sense, but it's just like it's not Kojima weird enough for me now. They kind of normalized it. And I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that just dehyped me about.
Yeah, that trailer was mostly a walking simulator.
Yeah,
it was a Norman Reedus walking simulator, and I didn't care.
All I got from that was that he's a delivery man delivering what, a dead body, or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Last of Us 2, I got dehyped about that. Like, there's just a lot of gore. It looks like the same game from the last one. Like, there's some really cool stuff in there. Like, I guess, like the internet's making a big deal about that kiss. And I'm like, I can see why, because kissing in games is really hard. But that one kind of looked... I think I talked about this with Ben. That kiss looked like they were actually able to make a video game woman that is doing her first kiss. Like, we're all assuming it's her first kiss. And it's like a sloppy one. But it actually looks like it could be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I love the idea of The Last of Us. Like, the first game, amazing.
Yeah.
Never beat it, but amazing.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to get this game, but it looks great. Like, I can't wait to see other people play it and talk about it so that I can enjoy it through them.
Yes.
But I can't play it. It's too spoopy. But I thought this looks good. I mean, like, yes. It's actually like next or this gen Last of Us. Because if you remember, like the first one feels like a PS4 game.
It was a PS3
because they did the re-release and everything, but it was a PS3 game.
Yeah.
It still felt very chunky if you look back at it. So this one feels a lot more fluid, faster, more brutal. Like the first one should have probably been a PS4 game from the start. So this is what that game should have been, I think.
Yeah, it's just like I've already played the first one. This one just looks the same, and I'm not looking. Like, I guess I am. I don't know, man. Like, some sequels, I don't care if it's the same because I just want more of it. But I've played a lot of games like The Last of Us. It's just the story. Like, it has to come down to the story, which Naughty Dog does a great job with. I just, like, I need to get my hands on these things. And what was the other thing that I was kind of dehyped about? Maybe that was it.
Anthem?
Anthem, yeah. I don't know. Like they didn't really show like a whole lot of it. You know, they had that talking thing and
yeah, it was too much showing or too much tell and not enough show.
Yeah,
because it looked cool, but we still don't really know what the game is.
I want to see menus and I want to see like I mean, like I see this all the time. Like I just want to see the menus, like the loadout for that, and what the quest structure is like.
Yeah, I want to see the gameplay loop. Like, I want to see them actually go through a mission, how that plays out, you know, returning that mission, and what happens in between. But they just talked about it instead. Yeah.
Another game that I was slightly dehyped about was The Division 2. I know you probably don't care about The Division, but this looked like a lot more of the same again, and it's just set in a different place. Which I like the setting of Washington D.C. because as a non-American, I haven't seen Washington D.C. Like I don't really know a whole lot about it.
I have.
So like I'm interested to see what they do with it. But like it just looks like a lot more of the same game, and I don't know. I want something new from it. One thing I was excited about, which is just more of, is this Trials Uprising, because we haven't had a next-gen Trials game, I don't think. Maybe Fusion, but that didn't really hit. And to have a Trials game on my Switch on the go, like that sounds really good, like something I'd be into.
I never really cared about Trials.
I love Trials. Like I just like that. Like just get like you're improving your skill at at a game. Funny enough. Yeah, I think that's all I've written down here. Beyond Good and Evil 2, like that's still it's hilarious that they actually announced that it's still in development.
It was kind of bad press, honestly, because I saw a lot of people like making jokes about how like the development was kind of being outsourced to fans. Like, get your content in the game, and it's like this game's been in development for 5 years and we still haven't completed it. So you guys do it for us.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, they also had a lot of bad press around that that program that they have. Like, it's not they're not really paying people for the work they're doing. It's all, I can't remember what, I think it's called spec work. So if you get selected, your stuff gets in, then you get paid. So if you submit stuff and like if you do a good job and you don't get selected, then you don't get paid for your work.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. But apparently they're working on that system now. Like after all the bad press, like what's the guy's name again? Like John Lovett something.
I don't remember.
Some celebrity that you probably know that I have no idea about. Is like,
oh wait, sorry, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes,
the guy that's okay.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about like John Lovitz or something, and like I knew it wasn't John Lovitz, but I wasn't sure who you were talking about that was like him. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt, okay,
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They had like a thing on 2 Point Hospital that I was interested in, but yeah, it's a small thing. Devil May Cry 5. It's cool that they're finally announced that game after it's been leaking for like the last year. Yeah, that's pretty much.
And it's like almost done. Like they finally get to announce it, and it's almost done.
Yeah.
It was a weird year for E3. Like there was some hype moments, but there wasn't anything majorly surprising.
Yeah.
This was definitely one of those years where it's just like all the things we've already announced before, they're finally coming. And we need like those every now and then. But...
yeah, like there was a lot of leaks too. Like if Rage 2 was announced, like without us knowing going into E3, like that would have been the hype moment of the.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Show. Yeah.
I forget that wasn't like just intentionally announced beforehand.
Yeah.
It would have been a big moment for Bethesda. But...
yeah.
I am actually like I'm still excited about Fallout 76. I know it's gotten a lot of crap, but I think that's going to be a great multiplayer game for us to play.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game for us to play. Like just seeing the visual of like a bunch of people running around in power armor just mowing through the world of Fallout sounds cool.
Like I've been very clear that I didn't really like Fallout 4 because it was a numbered Fallout entry that didn't really feel like Fallout. Especially if you compare it to like New Vegas that came before it. Like New Vegas was easily the most like classic Fallout game since 1 and 2, because it was a lot more about like the choices you make and the the factions and things like that, like the dialogue trees and stuff. And Fallout 4 was very much like your choices mean nothing, and everything boils down to a yes or a no or a reluctant yes. And the shooting mechanics were all like more action oriented, and we got rid of a lot of the RPG elements, and like it just wasn't Fallout anymore. Fallout 76 looks like more of that, but like it's multiplayer now. They know exactly what they're pandering to. They're not trying to make the next Fallout game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's different.
I hear it's not really developed by Bethesda Softworks. Like some of that stuff is outsourced.
Probably.
Yeah, I've heard it's like a completely like empty world. There's no like NPCs other than just robots and stuff. So that might be a bit of a letdown. The building mechanics
probably not something you'd want to get at launch. Like there's going to be the people like with No Man's Sky. People had to populate that world. There had to be the dedicated fans that went in and did stuff. I know No Man's Sky is a bad example, but like others that came into it later, they're like, oh, all these planets are already named, and I can just go around in this world. And like now there's actual multiplayer in that game, and like it's supposed to be playable finally.
Yeah, it's coming out I think July or something. 26.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up then. I'm curious about it. But like Fallout 76 is going to be the same way. There's going to be the people that get it because they're excited, and they're going to build the world and like start the first civilizations and stuff. And then everyone else is going to come in and probably get slaughtered by the ones that started it because they're going to be too powerful. But still, it's going to be interesting how they balance that over time. But I'm curious to see how like a totally online world gets built. That sounds cool.
Yeah. The building mechanics, like from the first game, that felt like completely just not necessary, and like you could completely skip over and ignore. It feels kind of cool now because it's like you're hanging out with a group of friends, and you're building your home base, like you're building your hangout spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how they
Elder Scrolls Blades. That was a surprise, actually.
Yeah,
like a good-looking Elder Scrolls mobile game.
I pre-registered that on my phone. Like it's free.
I haven't yet because I don't know when it's coming out. But...
I don't know. I just hit the button that said pre-register, and now it's just there. Like it's a free game, right? So.
Yeah, I'm worried about how the microtransactions and stuff are going to kill that game, but it looks great.
We'll see.
So yeah, I'm willing to at least play it.
Yeah, there's. I don't know why, but I saw people complain that it doesn't look like anything like an Elder Scrolls game. I'm like, dude, like, come on, it's just like a dungeon crawler. Like, it's like a first Diablo game. You just run through dungeons and kill stuff on your phone while you're...
It looks exactly like the early Elder Scrolls games. Those were literally dungeon crawlers.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were like the E3 and Odyssey games are now. Back then. Like, you go through a screen, you run into an enemy, you attack it, you go around the screen, like...
Oh, yeah.
Towns were pretty simple. It was a really small game. It didn't get bigger until Morrowind.
That's such a
anyone saying that is like just probably hasn't got in Oblivion or Skyrim, and they're like, I know what Elder Scrolls is.
Yeah, it's that's a style of game you have not seen in a very long time. Because going back to those first-person dungeon crawls where it's like it has to load in the screen like every step you take, that takes me back. I'm like, oh man.
I hate those.
Yeah, I hated those too. I fucking hated those so much. I like how they just came out and said, yeah, Starfield's going to be like next gen, and then here's Elder Scrolls 6, so you stop complaining about it.
Right. Like, that was a surprise to me, because we all knew it was in development. They've said before that we're thinking about the next Elder Scrolls game, but we want to make something original first. So the fact that they announced Starfield as the original game, and then just said... Also, Elder Scrolls 6, I guess. Like, that's not surprising to me. I just wanted to see more of Starfield.
I guess they just wanted to say that so people weren't worried that they weren't going to make it because of ESO. But
then every conference they're going to say, why didn't they show Elder Scrolls 6? Why didn't they show more of it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the Kingdom Hearts 3 syndrome all over again. They showed that game way too early.
You can't win. You can't win. It's a lose-lose situation.
Nintendo's dealing with that too because people were mad that they didn't show more Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
I was one of those people, but still.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the list of titles for me.
Same.
All right. So yeah, that'll be the end of the show. Justin, where can the people find your stuff?
I am on Twitter and YouTube. I am on Twitter and Zero Score.
ZooTube.
I'm on Twitter and YouTube as Zero Score. Check me out if you want.
Cool. You can find me, your host Thomas, at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@cherryshot.com, with any questions, compliments, complaints, anything really. And you can also check us out at charshot.com. That's where all of our content is hosted. You can find all of our videos, podcasts, and written articles. And until then, guys, enjoy playing your games. Alright. Pull up this news that I have not read any of.
You put most of it there.
Did you want to do the one about Atari? Do you want to go off on Atari, or you just
I didn't read it.
Okay, I'll close that one then, because it's kind of like Atari's just being Atari.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna close that. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the Video Game Newsy News Show, hosted by your hosts Thomas and Justin.
Hi.
And no one else.
Sometimes I like to open the show as Kirby. But like Kirby after he went through puberty.
Wait, what? Oh,
Hi.
Is that a reference to Kirby?
That's what that's like in Smash.
Oh.
Or
Okay.
like, I think one of his taunts. He's like, hi. And like waves.
Alright. You know more about Kirby than me, so I'll take your word for it.
It's true, I do.
I kind of want to open up the show with a little bit of Steam guilt.
Some steamy news.
Some steamy news. So there's a new they call it external funds used on Steam, where it just calculates all the money you spent on Steam over the years acquiring your vast library of games. And so I figured we'd open this up and just have you all guess what amount of money we spent on our games. My Steam library is well over 900 now. Thank you very much.
Over 900! Is that
Um,
still a thing?
It's always a thing, man. Anime is forever. It's a lifestyle. But yeah, I kind of want to guess Justin's amount, and I want you to guess my amount. So I already have mine up here. How much do you think I've spent on games?
You said you were over 900 games?
Yes.
I would guess you've gotten probably... Well, a lot of your stuff you've gotten from Humble Bundle. I don't think that would be included in how much you've spent on Steam.
Yeah, I don't think that accounts either.
So I'm going to go with... $1,200?
$1,200?
American. I don't know what that transfers to.
All right. Well, it says here my total spend as of June 21st is $4,102.51.
Oh, I was close.
I'm surprised you guessed so low, because my first guess was like, oh, I've probably spent close to 10,000.
Well, to be fair, you told me it wasn't as much as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I
was a
lowballed
hint.
it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I don't know if you've already looked at yours or not, but
I might have. I was closing out pages and I landed on that one, but I don't know if I read it correctly. I have...
Wait, I want to guess.
No, I was trying to see how many games I have.
Okay.
I have 152 games.
152.
Yes.
So I've talked to someone that had about over 100 games. They spent about maybe 1,500. So I want to guess that you spent at least 1,700.
Keep in mind, I've gotten a lot of games for free.
That's damn true. $900.
Okay, we're gonna look at this together. I have... Okay, so it's the total spend number?
Yeah.
$519.86.
God damn.
Cute. I'm cute.
I've spent what? It's
$3,500 more than me.
Yeah.
$3,600 more than me.
It's USD. Man.
I haven't spent very much on Steam. I'm pretty proud of myself, actually.
Yeah, now you could go and buy another game during the sale.
Well, I'm not going to do that anymore, I don't think. But no, I rarely buy anything full price. Like I don't think there's a single Steam game I bought like right at release. If we were going over like my PS4 library, maybe it would be more money than that. But yeah, I don't think there's a single game on here that I like immediately got, unless it was like a $20 or $30 game. But even then, a lot of them I got for free. Like big games that I've talked about here before. Ori and the Blind Forest was a gift from someone. Okami, gift. Hat in Time, gift. Funk Unplugged. Developer gave me a key.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 12, that I actually did buy. Axiom Verge, gift. 20XX, gift.
Hang on. Are you gonna go through all these games and just like label the ones that you've?
No, I'm not gonna go through all my
Okay.
games. I'm just like
Alright.
looking at ones that I've like talked about a lot on the show before.
Yeah.
Like that I've played regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I recently reinstalled Fallout New Vegas, which I forgot to mention on the Gamescast, to do some mods and stuff in it. And that I picked up, I think, for like $3 or something in a sale a while back.
Speaking of mods, real quick, I saw some mods for Final Fantasy 15, like the character stuff, and I kind of just want to buy it again for the modding stuff.
Yeah, that seems pretty fun. I actually just got Final Fantasy 7 again because there's some really good graphics mods and stuff that makes that not look like garbage. So I want to get a bunch of those put in and then replay that game so it looks like a normal. Because we're never going to get the remake. Remember that's not being made. So this actually like makes stuff look more like kind of a high def version of like 8 and 9, like that art style. Yeah, very few games I've paid for is the point.
Yeah.
So that's not an unreasonable amount to have spent on 150 games, and I've probably paid for 70 or 80 of them, and even then I've never paid full price for one.
Yeah, I usually wait for sales myself. Like there's 5 games I've paid full price for. But yeah, that's our amounts. What's your number? Paste it in the comments below. All right.
Give me them digits.
Oh boy, there's a lot of news in here that I have not read. Nintendo and Disney are teaming up on a contest dedicated to the Nintendo Switch.
This one's pretty fun, actually. I did read this. So it's... Oops, that was the wrong story. There it is. It's a contest show. It's a Disney Channel show where basically families get together and play Switch games competitively against each other for prizes and stuff. Like, it's kind of goofy. I don't see it being a terribly good show, but it's called Nintendo Switch Family Showdown, and it's just like it's such a proof that Nintendo is just dominating right now. At least like with families and stuff. Like, this is great marketing all around. But they're going to be playing games like Mario Tennis Aces, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So it's like they'll take turns like searching for collectibles on Super Mario Odyssey, like little kind of snippets of challenges and single player games like that. Just Dance 2018, like all kinds of different things. And as new multiplayer games come out, they can add those to the show. It's brilliant. It's just like it's free advertising for Nintendo on a major cable network. But it is kind of funny because like Nintendo is working with Universal on their theme park. They're working with Illumination on their animated movie, and now they're working with Disney on a TV show. They're just like jumping around to all the competition. They don't even care, and they're playing Minecraft with Microsoft.
Put Minecraft Steve in Smash.
I've seen people legitimately saying that, and that's absurd.
I really have no dog in that fight, but that'd be really cool.
There's limited character slots. I don't think we need Minecraft Steve.
Is there limited character slots?
Yeah, he said there's not going to be a lot more because we're getting everyone.
But,
Just saying.
they have to make an amiibo of them. That would sell like hotcakes to the kids.
Yeah, probably. That's true. It's all just playing the amiibo game to them. They don't care.
Did you ever watch like competition games like this when you were a kid?
I used to watch like the Nickelodeon, like Legends of the Hidden Temple. Crap, I can't. There's a bunch of them where everyone got slimed, and I can't remember what all of them are called.
Yeah, I guarantee that the stuff that you saw was none of the stuff that we saw, but we had stuff like that. Like we had this show called Uh-Oh, and if you like spin this wheel and you land on Uh-Oh, you get slimed by this dude named the Punisher, and he's like wearing an executioner outfit.
Okay.
um, yeah, we had like a video game top 10 video game video in arcade, and you would write it was actually down in Toronto, so I'd always write in trying to get in, and I would never get in. But you're essentially just racing, like facing off against other kids for top points or whatever, and you get a chance at a prize. So this kind of reminds me of that.
It's not really related, but I have some friends from college that their family just got on Family Feud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not going to air for a little while, but I just saw them post on Facebook. They're like, just finished filming. They brought us out here and everything. And that's really cool.
That is pretty cool. Is that Harvey still doing that?
Yeah. They said he was really fun and great to meet.
He's a pretty good host. Like I don't watch it a lot right now, but like when I did watch it with him, he was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, he seems like it.
All right, next news story. Nintendo now banning Switch users with illegal games from online play. See, Justin, help me.
Oh, is that all you were? Okay.
I like I said, I've only read the headlines for these news stories.
Yeah.
A
so
lot
this
of these
one
were you, by the way.
True.
Yeah.
This one's weird because I don't entirely know what it means exactly. Like, it's basically there's been a lot of issues with the Switch modding scene, and like there's been some very public like hacks around the operating system of it. It's confusing because it's like all the technical talk that like I see occasionally on Reddit and stuff, but I've never actually done. Like I just hacked my 3DS, so I know like they're kind of similar infrastructures. So people have been taking the hacks from 3DS and switching them over to the Switch pretty easily and stuff like that. And so basically they're hard hacks where you can't unhack it. So like once it's done to the system, it's just there. There's no way around it. Okay. So really the only way you can stop people from using those hacks is by disabling them from the internet. So the way they're kind of getting around that is, I guess Nintendo is putting in like a unique identification to each game cart. So like your version of Mario and Rabbids would have a different identification code from my version of Mario and Rabbids. So if someone, like, for example, ripped that, like, the digital data from that game and made it available for people to put on their hacked Switch, and then someone went online with their version, like, with their Switch playing that game,
okay,
Nintendo would see that identifier and block that Switch from getting online.
Okay.
And possibly even brick the entire system.
Really bricking the system?
It's unclear exactly how they're going to handle it.
All right.
But the issue with this, why it could be a problem, this article doesn't really go into it, but theoretically, if someone, like, downloaded the digital data from that game and then sold that game to a reseller like GameStop, someone else legitimately bought that copy and put it in their system after like the code was put online, the person that legitimately bought it could have their Switch blocked from online access.
Wow.
So this is not a great system.
That's fucked up.
Like, again, we're not exactly sure how it's going to work. That might not even be an issue. But if it is, that sucks.
Yeah.
And it's going to really hurt the resale business on Switch just because they're trying to crack down on piracy, which isn't really even that much of an issue yet. There's got to be another way to do this.
Microsoft was able to do this before with, I don't know how, like, I was in that scene when people were JTagging their consoles and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you JTag your 360, you would be banned from online play, so you wouldn't be able to play anything online. I don't even know if you could access the store. I'm not sure about that. but it didn't like brick the system or anything, and it didn't like evolve with used games because that was just online stuff specifically. Yeah, that's they can't go through with this. Like you said, like
I would hope not.
Because then that would just eliminate like the used game sales.
Yeah. We'll have to see how this goes. It's not great.
It would eliminate gifting, like giving a friend your copy of your game. Justin's just silently nodding.
Yep.
He's like, yeah. Yeah. Let's hope
They've had issues with piracy on every single system they've had. Like I said, my Wii and my 3DS are both hacked. But I did it late into the life. Like after I didn't care about those things anymore. So if it does get bricked, it's not a big deal. So like I'm not going to go out like now when the Switch is still the new hotness and hack it just to get things for free.
Yeah.
I used to do that on the DS, but that was when I was a broke college kid and needed to play new games.
There wasn't,
and it was also really easy because they had like the flash carts.
Yeah.
And they were like impossible to brick.
I think they're called like red 3s.
I had the R4 card.
Oh, R4. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it had to deal with an R and a number.
Yeah, it's weird.
Speaking of the Switch and popularity, Fortnite players discover new TV message after altering the dates and time on PC.
Have you read this?
No. I know about
it's
the
also
other.
Kind of cool.
I know about the other Fortnite story.
Okay. This is like it's something where they only see this information in there's a mix of things. Basically, people were changing the internal date of their system to the future and seeing this like launch sequence on the TVs when it was set to July 30th, I believe. Apparently July 1st is the first date that this is shown, but it goes through like the entire month of July, I guess. So people are speculating that something will happen in July. Like I guess there's some kind of like missile launch site or something on the map, and that maybe you can like actually use that in the game starting on that date. But also, if you go into like the replay of your matches that are recorded within that time span, like the July 1st to July 30th time, you'll get a countdown. It's only in the replay mode that you get this countdown on the TVs instead of the launch code. And they're not really sure like what the time on that countdown refers to, whether it's like related to, you know, when whatever this launch thing is happening. It shows like, I guess, what is this, 87 days? I don't even know. There's 4 numbers. 87 days, 65 hours. No, that doesn't make any sense because it'd be multiple days.
65 hours, 43 minutes, 21 seconds.
But 65 hours should just be more days. It should never go above 24 hours.
I don't know, man. Like,
I guess it's milliseconds, maybe. 87 days, 65 minutes. No, that's still not... No, that doesn't work.
Maybe it is, and they just want you to do math.
I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so there's some weird stuff happening in Fortnite, basically. I kind of like this viral marketing they've been doing. It's unique. It feels like the game's alive.
Do you think that this is for when the PvE stuff goes live for everyone?
Like free?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Are they just gonna hide the PvE stuff behind a paywall and just like hope no one ever goes there?
Except Low.
Yeah, except Low.
Oh,
that's so sad.
Yeah. He'll just keep playing it by himself while everyone else is in Battle Royale.
Yeah.
He's always number 1 when he plays alone.
Anyways, the other Fortnite story I was talking about was, we actually don't have it here, but it's everywhere. It's the Epic one where if you tie your Epic account to PlayStation, you can't untie it.
Yeah.
So people can't play, like, you can't untie from the PlayStation account and play on the Switch, which is what you were trying to do before. That wasn't working.
Yeah. There is a way to unlink your PS4 version, but it actually like removes all of the data from your PS4 account. So you're like you get the name back, but you lose all of your progress and stuff still.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the point. I left it on my PS4 because maybe I'll want to play it sometime on PS4. Since no one else can play with PS4 people, you have to, play the PS4 version to play with those people.
Mm-hmm.
But I just made a new account for Switch that I can take between PC, Switch, Xbox, all those other companies that play along.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal, but it does suck to have to start over.
Do you think PlayStation will eventually budge on this, or are they just going to be like,
nope? I
don't. They're not even answering that question. They're just like completely ignoring it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I love the shade that Nintendo and Microsoft threw out with their play together Minecraft video.
Yeah.
And all the memes that have come out from it.
Mm-hmm.
Of Sony being like, nah, we're not going to play with anyone. Pretty great.
Yeah. You posted this other story, Overwatch teasing Hero 28.
Yeah, I didn't know if you cared about this.
No,
It's kind of some neat viral marketing.
Okay.
And it always surprises me, like, how much there is to know about, like, the lore and stuff in Overwatch. Because it's just a hero shooter. Like, there shouldn't be this much, like, in-depth stuff in the game. But there's, like, a whole universe of, like, character relations and stuff to each other. And people are, like, analyzing this little image from a teaser for something coming. Whether it's a new character or map or what.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't play the game. I didn't know these characters are so interconnected. It's insane.
They had videos. I think they might even have comic books. But there's definitely fanfics out there. Yeah, it's a dense world it's like if you want to show one video game that has fandom, this is it.
I guess. But yeah, that's really it. Just there's a teaser for something coming, and it might be a new hero. But I don't know enough about the game to say anything else.
Yeah, I haven't played this game for over a year now. I haven't even played with any of the new characters, like none of them. Speaking of games I don't play, Pokemon Go. Trading is now available in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I've been playing around with that a little bit, like the new systems. They added friends, which friggin' use friend codes in 2018. Those monsters.
Hey, they learned the bet from the best, Nintendo.
I guess. But it is interesting. There's some cool new stuff in there. For one, you can add friends now. Like there's a whole friends tab. I've got a bunch of people on here. I'll load it up to show the stream. Oh my god, if it loads. But yeah, you just go in to the friends tab, you tap add friend, you type in the friend code, hit send, they accept it. Now at Pokestops, you can sometimes get gifts that you can give out to your friends, and it makes you like better friends with each other. And the better friends you are, the lower the star dust needed to do trades and stuff, and also the better combat power the Pokemon you get from trades will be, because there's like a range whenever you trade them, and it's basically like whatever they are from the person you got down like 20%. So you could get something that's like 20% less powerful than it was when they had it, if you're not very good friends. Also, if you do raids together with your friends, depending on how good of friends you are, you can get like extra Pokeballs and stuff to help you catch the raid Pokemon, things like that. So there's benefits to making friends, but a lot of it is limited to people that are around you, because like trades are limited within like 100 feet or meters or something like that. So you're not gonna trade with people across the world. which is a little silly because there's regional Pokemon still. Like some that just aren't available around you, and you can pretty much only get them through eggs. And some special events. But also, you can't really do raids and stuff with people around the world, so you're not going to get those benefits from those friends. So yeah, it's kind of like it's just wanting you to make friends with people locally, which makes me wonder why it's not a better system for adding people. Like you should just be able to like tap phones or something. But it's cool. Like there's some neat stuff there. And also, they've added in that in those gifts, you can sometimes get new 7-kilometer eggs that, when hatched, have the Alolan forms of different Pokemon. So Alolan Executor was already in the game, just natively. And I guess Alolan Diglett and Geodude are coming in like July after a Community Day event. But all the other Alolan forms are going to be in these eggs that you can only get from trade or from friend gifts. So that's kind of a cool thing, like making all the friends around the world because you have better chances to get gifts. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that they've added in with this new update, and just the fact that there's finally trades and stuff in the game makes it feel like a more social event, which it should for a mobile game all about exploring and like, you know, getting together with people to go on raids and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it's finally the game they promised it was going to be at launch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Let me see. That's pretty much it for, I don't know, Life is Strange. Episode 1 of Life is Strange 2 will release September 27, 2018. They kind of announced that Captain Spirit game at E3. Said it was 100% free June 26th, which is a few days from now. At the time of recording. I haven't seen this video. Does it show like the characters or anything?
No, it's like it's stitching on a bag.
Okay.
Just creating the title. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me that this Captain Spirit guy is part of Life is Strange 2. Somehow.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like
the Captain Spirit thing looks cool though. That was another surprise because it's like it's a free game that's going to tie into Life is Strange 2.
Yeah.
Like that's really interesting to me.
Like this guy might he might be a bit older in the real game and realize his dad is an alcoholic and you know, have some family drama like Life is Strange.
I could see him as the new protagonist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's your info for Life is Strange. Some info on Resident Evil 2. This remake won't have an alternate fixed camera.
Why would it?
Yeah,
People
it's
are dumb.
this is the story doesn't even belong in here. I'm gonna delete that. Fuck it.
Well, it's just like we're getting the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah.
That fixed camera was never good. It's more like Resident Evil 4, which is the best game in the series. Yeah. And people are like, but what about the fixed camera? Like, no, this is better.
You're like, yeah, let's just move on. Let's not even talk about that. The last story of the day is Discord launches a games tab. And it's like Steam in the sense that if you ever go over to the community tab or look at the game info tab, you can launch your games from Discord now. It'll also have like info and like show what your friends have been up to and what games they've been playing recently. It's pretty neat for like a social media standpoint. You said basically Steam is gonna buy Discord eventually.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they probably should join forces at this point. But if Discord's trying to compete with them, then that's a whole other thing.
That what I immediately thought was that you'll be buying games through Discord, which is what you're saying, competing.
No.
Well, you said competing.
I mean, I could see them maybe teaming up with like itch.io
Maybe.
You know, being like the storefront for itch.io, because it's hard to find some of those games. I don't necessarily see them like selling their own games or anything.
Well,
I think it's more just enriching that social tab, kind of more of like Twitch competition, because it does have kind of Twitch integration where you can immediately go to someone's Twitch feed and stuff. But I don't think they're going to do a full-on storefront to compete with Steam. I meant more like as far as like launching your library and that kind of thing.
I don't know. I could see them eventually having their own marketplace, like having everything integrated in this one hub. Instead of just going, like, instead of launching Steam, you could just launch Discord and launch your games through that if you buy through there.
So many people are already so ingrained in the Steam infrastructure, it'd be hard to make that change.
Yeah. There's a future in this, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is going
But
somewhere.
it's not great right now. Like, it's not super clean looking.
It's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Like,
I see 5 games that I can quick launch on here.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I guess it depends on how big the screen is.
Yeah, it might just be maybe things that you played recently.
Yeah, it looks like that.
I don't know.
Mine is Assassin's Creed Origins, Destiny 2, Fallout 4, which for some reason Tekken 7, Hob, The Surge, XCOM 2, Battlegrounds. I could go on, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I've got Hob, Fallout New Vegas, Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Diablo 3. Because I also played Diablo 3 recently. I forgot.
Still good?
I just kind of wanted, I just wanted to grind for a while.
All right.
It was fun. The new season started, so I jumped back in. But
What season are they on now?
12?
Oof. All right.
I don't remember.
But yeah, that's the last news story of the show. Unless you have anything that I missed.
There's the Burnout game studio people.
I could have sworn I clicked on that. Oh yeah, ex-Burnout developers announced 2 Burnout-like games. Three Fields Entertainment, led by Criterion Games founder Alex Ward and Fiona Sperry, have announced Danger Zone 2 and Dangerous Driving. Both titles will be arriving on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Look to be spiritual successors to the beloved Burnout franchise.
I think these look cool.
Yeah, I heard Danger Zone.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, like I heard there wasn't really too much to it other than just like blowing stuff up. There wasn't really a driving aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like they're finally incorporating that into the sequel.
It's weird that there's 2 though, because they seem very similar. Like the Dangerous Driving sounds like it's more just like a I don't know, like an arcade, like Crazy Taxi type thing, where you just get bonus points for like running into people, but you keep driving. So it's just like a bulldozer simulator almost. Whereas the Danger Zone is more like an actual like Burnout spiritual successor.
Yeah.
But I don't see much of a distinction between them.
Yeah. They're both just dangerous driving games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, hey, we're not getting any new Burnout anytime soon, apparently. So, take what you can get.
Right. And, yeah, that'll do it for the show. Justin, where can people find your stuff?
They can find my stuff on Twitter and YouTube if they look for Zero Score.
So professional. Just like...
Right?
Just like... You have a tie on right now?
No, just my Spidey shirt.
Just that business cash, right?
Yeah. It has a pocket. It doesn't have a pocket, but there's a Spider-Man on a pocket.
I got a pocket.
It's a fake pocket.
You can find me, your host Thomas, at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find us here at chartshot.com. That's where all of our visual, audio, and written content lives. And you can email me, Thomas, at chartshot.com. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Good night.
Bye.
Alright. Stop.
Okay, cool.
And save 73.
I was kind of casually getting some of the Final Fantasy VII mod stuff set up because I hate how complicated modding is. Like, I thought there was a way through Steam to just like download mods and have them automatically, but apparently that's not a thing anymore. I don't.
No, it is. Like 15 has the workshop. I think it depends on if the game has workshop support.
Yeah, I guess because like New Vegas doesn't have workshop support, which is weird. I had to go through crazy like a mod manager to get all that stuff to work.
When the hell did that launch?
It's still, I don't think all of them work. But the first time I did it, there was like, I took a picture of it. There's like character models with big like exclamation point, like red exclamation points on them in 3D. So it's like just this big exclamation point model walking around with the normal character. It's pretty goofy. I'll try to find the picture. And then Final Fantasy VII, I have to like download this like Seventh Heaven mod manager thing and install them that way.
Yeah.
And like I thought all games had workshop support and you just went through that and downloaded them automatically, but
No.
it's way more complicated than that.
There's only some that have them.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Oh,
But anyway, I started to like kind of mess with that a little bit. Just like get the things initially downloaded. And it made the screen go black and like messed with my resolution for a second. And like you weren't talking, I think I was. But I was like, oh crap, did I just mess with Audacity accidentally? And so I kept talking. I was trying to play it off.
Yeah.
And then like you responded. I'm like, okay, good. Because the screen came back to normal and like it was just, I think it was adjusting my graphics to like see what, you know, what I'm compatible with.
Yeah.
But I freaked out for a second because I thought I broke something midstream.
There was like there was a moment there where like your video froze for a little bit, and I was like, that's probably just the internet connection.
Oh, yeah, that might have been then.
All right. I'm gonna take off. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll see you around.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too.